Hello, Sammy. This is your buddy Todd. I just wanted to do a video for you really quick to show you some of my Scorpion releasing titles. I know you had mentioned earlier that you wanted to see them, or you were curious if I repurchased Sorceress. So I will show you my entire collection of Scorpion releasing. This is my first video, and I'm only sharing it with you, so maybe this will kind of break the ice for me to want to do more. Who knows? But it will start with, this one is called The House on Sorority Row. This one went out of print right away, so it's going for some pretty good money. I actually have this on DVD, and I have not opened this. I don't know what the quality looks like yet. I heard it's pretty good, but I have not opened it yet. So that's The House on Sorority Row. Next is, excuse me if you hear me sniffling, I have a little cold, so I apologize. Next is the Sorority House Massacre, and this one is also out of print. This was one of their earlier releases, and this one is good. This is actually a pretty good slasher. It's 80s style goodness. You know, it's got the funky clothes, and there's some nudity in here too, so I know you like the nudity. Who doesn't? So that's Sorority House Massacre. And the newest edition that I got, this came in the mail on Friday. This one is limited to 1,000 copies, so, and it's still available. So I recommend going to screenarchives.com, picking this one up. It's going to go out of print soon, but it's still available, so grab it while you can. It's 25 bucks. And I haven't watched it yet. I just got it. I'm going to put it in my to-watch pile, which is probably about 15 movies deep already, so strip to kill. Then this was one of the titles that they released about 4 months ago that was very limited. This one was limited to 1,000. It's Don't Answer the Phone. Another 80s slasher. This is the remastered edition. It looks pretty good. Sorry about that. My dog's trying to chew on my clothes, so I'm trying to do this and watch the dog at the same time. Hey, get away from there. Sorry about that. Yeah, this is actually a good movie. I really enjoy this one. I believe you can still pick it up. You may be able to get it at diabolic.com. Don't answer the phone. Here's another one that's limited to 1,000. This one's called Girly, and it's kind of a horror comedy slasher. And I didn't really care too much for this one, but I wanted to add it to the collection. It was okay. I would probably give it about a 6 out of 10 if I had to grade it, but yeah, that's Girly. If you have a chance to get some of these other ones, I'd pick, like, this one is really good, Mortuary. This one's limited to 1,200 pieces. This one was very good. I love this movie. Now, if you have a chance to get Mortuary or Girly, I would pick up Mortuary, but that's just me. But I think you pretty much have the same taste I do, so. Yep. And this one is also limited to 1,200. And this is Island Claws. This is a PG creature feature film. It's very cheesy, but I enjoyed it. You know, I thought it was pretty good for what it was. You know, it's 1980, and you know, it's giant lobsters or giant crabs that invade a town, and you know, it's good cheesy fun. So that is Island Claws. This one here is called Short Eyes. Now this is kind of a prison revenge type film. This was limited to, I think, 1,500. And that's just my little note that I leave in there to let me know how many. That didn't come with the disc or anything like that. So, but yeah, this was a good one. I thought this was pretty good. It's about a guy who does some pretty bad things, and he gets locked in prison, and the prisoners find out the horrible things that he's done, and they take it out on him, and it's a pretty good revenge. Another 80s. Let me see. Oh, actually, no, 1977. So yeah, this is a good one. If you can get this one, check it out. Now, here's the one you were talking about the other day, and this is pretty good. You know, it's pretty cheesy. I enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty good. 1983. And sorry about the glare. And this one, I think this was limited to 2000, but I could be. Yep, that's what my note says. I believe it was limited to 2000. So yeah, this is a pretty good. This one doesn't have a reversible cover. Some of them do, some of them don't. But you already know about this movie, so you know that you want to pick it up. I think you would love to have this one in your collection. So yeah, that's a good one. And this one, these two here are Barbara Bach double features, and I think she's adorable. That's Barbara Bach right there. She's actually married to Ringo Starr, and she's in her 70s now, or late 60s maybe, and she's still beautiful to this day. I think she's gorgeous. But these are both excellent movies. This here is kind of almost the monster, without giving too much of the film away. The monster in this one is almost like Sloth from the Goonies, which I thought was pretty cool. It was like a retarded son that they kept locked in the basement, and they fed him, you know, scraps, and he had teddy bears. He was a grown man, and he acted like a child, and he terrorized the 3 reporters that had to stay in the haunted house. Excellent movie. Very, very good. And I think, oops, sorry about that. I think this might have a reversible cover. And let me see. No, this just has some ads on the inside, some kind of posters and stuff like that from like a Asian release. I'm sorry if it's not really in focus, but yeah, these are really cool releases. These Scorpion films are awesome. I really like them. So that's The Unseen with Barbara Bach, and this one is about like lizard monsters that invade an island. Barbara Bach's in here again, and this actually has 2 different titles. This one's called Something Waits in the Dark, and I really like this cover. This artwork is really awesome. And I'll open it up and show you the reversible. This is the US title. It's called Screamers. I don't know if you can. It's like something like a fish monster, fish type. I don't know if you can make that out, but the monsters in here are really cool. And Barbara Bach, I don't know if you can see her, but she is effing gorgeous, man. I just, you know, this picture doesn't do it justice, but yeah, she's really pretty. Ringo Starr is a lucky guy. And I prefer this artwork, but I kind of like, you know, I actually like this title too, Something Waits in the Dark, as opposed to Screamers. I mean, they're both cool titles, but, you know, it's kind of cool to show off this artwork, and then the disc has the original Screamers. So, and look at you can see the monsters under the water. This is a really good movie. I really recommend picking up this Barbara Bach double feature if you can. You can get these really cheap too. I think this one was maybe about 15 bucks. And this one was probably about 17, 18 bucks. You can probably get them both for, you know, about 30 bucks together. So, yeah, that's that double feature. Got a couple more here. I'll try to go through these a little quicker. I'm at 9 minutes. So I got Dogs and Day of the Animals. And they're not the greatest movies, really. This one here has Christopher George in it. And I really like his acting. And it actually has his wife, Linda Day George, and it also has a young Leslie Nielsen. It's rated PG. It's not the greatest movie. You know, it's good for the cheese factor, and you know, you can kind of see even a young Leslie Nielsen had white hair, but he was kind of a butthole in this movie. But he's always been a great actor. I love Leslie Nielsen's work. And this one has a reversible cover, I believe. Yeah, Day of the Animals. It's not a bad cover either. I kind of like this one better though, with that mountain lion or whatever that is, and a big bear at the bottom. So yeah, that's Day of the Animals. You can probably get these pretty cheap too. You know, I think this one's been out for about a year or two now actually, and same with this one. You can probably get them for about 15 bucks or less even. If you get them used on eBay or something, you can probably get both of these for maybe around 20 even, I would think, you know. But yeah, these I like to have them in the collection just to beef up the scorpion releasing. And here's one that you might recognize. I don't have to say anything about this one. You already know all about it. So it's disappointing that this one didn't have reversible art, because I mean there was so many different cool scenes in this movie that they could have put something on the other cover. But I mean, this cover right here, I don't think anything can beat that. So what are you gonna do? I mean, I would have kept this one anyway, but it's still nice to have a choice, I guess. And I got two more. And this is the newest one I got, other than the one that came Friday. I got this one at Barnes & Noble last weekend. And this one actually blew me away. It was a blind buy for me, and I bought it just because it's a Scorpion releasing. It's a 1972 movie, and it's actually, it's kind of a teen slasher. You know, it almost reminds me of a Friday the 13th. You know, I think the first Friday the 13th came out in 1980. 79 or 80, don't quote me on that, but I think it was 80. And this was like a precursor to the teen slasher. You know, teens going into the woods having sex, they get slashed. You know, it's a very good movie. I really enjoyed this movie. And this one doesn't have reversible cover art, but it has some more ads, you know, just different cool things. I like it when they add things on the inside, you know. It's pretty cool. I really recommend this one. It's called The Tower of Evil. You can get this one for, I overpaid because I bought it at Barnes & Noble, but I looked online. You can probably get this for about 15 bucks, you know. So I recommend getting that one. And last but not least, Deathship. And this is with George Kennedy and Richard Crenna. And I'm sure you probably saw this before. This is pretty popular. You know, it's got pretty good special effects. It's another 1980 movie. And you know, it's a haunted ghost ship in the middle of the ocean, and it's got pretty good. You know, it's got creepy. It doesn't have CGI, obviously, but you know, it's got like it's an atmospheric movie where the atmosphere is what kind of creeps you out the most, I guess. So, all right, Sammy, I think I made this a little too long, so I hope you enjoyed my tour of my Scorpion releasing, and I will catch you next time, brother. Peace.